Cooranbean Kendall years 50, and 7 to boot, have smitten the children of men since sound of a voice or a foot came out of the head of that glen. The brand of black devil is there, and evil wind moaneth around. There is doom, there is death in the air, a curse groweth up from the ground. No noise of the axe or the saw in that hollow unholy is heard, no fall of the hoof or the paw, no whir of the wing of the bird, but a grey mother down by the sea, as wan as the foam on the strait, has counted the beads on her knee these 49 winters and 8. Whenever an elder is asked, a white-headed man of the woods of the terrible mystery mast where the dark everlastingly broods, be sure he will turn to the bay, with his back to the glen in the range, and glide like a phantom away, with a countenance pallid with change. From the line of dead timber that lies supine at the foot of the glade, the fierce-featured eagly hawk flies afraid as a dove is afraid. But back in that wilderness red are a fall and the forks of a ford. Ah! Pray and uncover your head, and lean like a child on the Lord. A sinister fog at the wane at the change of the moon cometh forth like an ominous ghost in the train of a bitter, black storm of the north. At the head of the gully unknown it hangs like a spirit of bale, and the noise of a shriek and a groan strikes up in the gusts of the gale. In the throat of a feculent pit is the beard of a bloody red sedge, and a foam like the foam of a fit sweats out of the lips of the ledge. But down in the water of death, in the livid, dead pool at the base below, with an audible breath, beseech with the hands to the face. A furlong of fetid, black fen, with gillite, green patches of pond, lies dumb by the horns of the glen at the gates of the horror beyond. And those who have looked on it tell of the terrible growths that are there, the flowerage fostered by hell, the blossoms that startle and scare. If ever a wandering bird should light on Gehennas like this, be sure that a cry will be heard, and the sound of the flat adder's hiss. But hard by the jaws of the band is a ghastly thing matted with moss. Ah, Lord, be a father, a friend, for the sake of the Christ of the cross. Black Tom, with the sinews of 5 that never a hangman could hang in the days of the shackle and gyve, broke loose from the guards of the gang. Thereafter, for seasons a score, this devil prowled under the ban, a mate of red talon and paw, a wolf in the shape of a man. But, ringed by ineffable fire, in a thunder and wind of the north, the sword of omnipotent ire, the bolt of high heaven went forth. But, wan as the sorrowful foam, a grey mother waits by the sea for the boys that have never come home these 54 winters and 3. From the folds of the forested hills there are raveled and roundabout tracks, because of the terror that fills the strong-handed men of the axe. Of the workers away in the range there is none that will wait for the night, when the storm-stricken moon is in change and the sinister fog is in sight. And later and deep in the dark, when the bitter wind whistles about, there is never a howl or a bark from the dog in the kennel without, but the white fathers fasten the door, and often they start, at a sound like a foot on the floor and a touch like a hand on the heart.